you're gonna want to take notes on. Because today we're getting down to the nitty gritty of binding magic, which is going to be explained in a way that you've likely never heard it explained before, and in a way that I personally, from the many videos where I've talked about binding magic, I haven't talked about it in this specific way. Because new elements, new dimensions of binding magic has been revealed to me. Binding magic is a form of spiritual oppression, or one of the many possible ways that a spirit can be oppressed. Whether this oppression is coming from dark entities or from baneful spiritual practitioners and incantations, there are various ways that binding magic will show up in a person's auric field, and there are innumerable ways that the magic can actually impact the person's life, body, and reality. Binding magic is the number one tool of destiny swapping. So, spiritual oppression through binding spells is a foundational component of destiny swapping, which essentially means that the swapping of destinies or the transference of negative karmic energies and entities could actually not really be done without binding the person. And the binding serves the purpose of intentionally and maliciously limiting the spiritual growth and power of the person being targeted. I want to share.
So, I understand what she's talking about. I think I've said some things about it before in some recordings, but I wasn't talking about it in a sense of destiny swapping per se. I was just understanding it in a sense of, in general, whether you're going to destiny swap or you're not gonna, or it's people are gonna destiny swap with you, or they're gonna throw curses at you, or they're going to do any some sort of magic or whatever. The destiny part of it is about you have a path that this Father, God, the Creator, has planned out for you in order for you to walk your path and do what you came here to do. Whatever that is between you and God. Now, when you don't do that, right, you essentially open yourself up to that path that you were supposed to walk, that you're not walking, for somebody else to sort of like pretend to walk your path or try to walk your path for you. And I always say it's destiny swapping is bullshit. It's a non thing. It's a it's another fear tactic. It is there, but if you really look at it, it's kind of stupid because um, let's say for instance, what I found with myself is that people who wanted to destiny swap with me are not energies like me. Like that is, they don't have the kind of functionality that my program has, right? And essentially, what they try to do at some stage is to use various people in the family. Some of them I don't even know, right? I think someone, my one of my my ex, he's I don't know, third party kind of a person tried to do some shit like that as well towards me. So in order for them to walk in my fucking shoes, they had to bring all kinds of many other people in those fucking shoes in order to drive that. So I said to Father, okay, but what does that mean even? It's like I'm a defragmentation too. I got this, I got this, I got this, I got that, I got that. Now I'm one of a kind as well because my kind of program is one of a kind. You don't find defragmentation function in many other areas in the system. It's just a one program there. Just like you won't find a, okay, maybe antivirus, you can find a couple of them. I think debugger as well is one of a kind. There are certain programs which are one of a kind. Now, these people are so crazy and so um, stupid that they will try to steal something that they can't even carry themselves. So essentially, what they end up doing is, yes, they do affect you, they do impact you, they do affect your life and impact your life and your path, right? Slow you down, make you sure that you never left your destiny, and they get some sort of energy from you not walking your path, but it's not as much as they would have gotten if they were high vibrational enough. Because it's like when you're a 10 gig energy, right? And a lot of motherfuckers out there are like 1 kilobit there, 2 kilobits there, 30, 15. Maybe the biggest one is like, I don't know, 150 meg or something, right? And you come as a 10 gig energy, and these guys coming, they try to spend the 10 gig energy. However, they can only go up until because they're fucking low vibrational. That is, they are small programs. They have only a capacity to take only what they can actually carry, right? When you're a low vibrational being, you cannot carry a high vibrational being kind of energy without being high vibrational yourself. This is why I say destiny swapping for me. It is a thing. It's what it's called. It's got a name. It does happen. But when you really look at how it works, you realize that actually this thing cancels itself out. Because as soon as you recognize or you realize and you wake up to it, then you wake up to who the fuck is doing that shit to you. And you start trying to get out of it, that is trying to walk in your path. All you have to do is just start walking in your path. Dropping those egos, which she's going to talk about certain things there, which I said they actually create them for you. Some egos are not yours. Some fears are not yours. Some anxieties are not yours. Some whatever it is not yours. They push it towards you, especially when you're a high vibrational being. That is, you do not naturally just come off as fearful, as anxious, as whatever these low vibrational feelings or emotions or whatever it is, you don't come off like that because of you're just not naturally made that way. You're made differently and you vibrate high. As much as people can try to drop your energy like that, it doesn't drop to the level where they can even handle it. So what they essentially do is waste your time and also waste their time because they're not working on themselves on up um making themselves become bigger energies. They're busy looking at some bigger energy and trying to bring that energy down. So they're wasting energy in a sense of they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing on their side. And they're also wasting energy by trying to steal someone else's energy. However, when you wake up to it, all you have to do is just wake up and see, oh, so and so, she's been doing this. You don't even have to have a name for it. Maybe even if you do, right? Or you don't necessarily do exactly that time, but you realize that they do this. They don't like me to do these things. They don't like me to do this. And why is it that always when this person is around me, I feel fearful? And why is it that every time when I think of this person, I feel fearful or I feel anxious? This person just doesn't, vibe well with me. When you start looking at such things and you start seeing them for what they are, and you start distancing, all you have to do is just distance yourself from them and watch what happens. They're going to follow. They're going to follow. They're going to be angry that you are out of their vicinity or out of their reach. In a sense of they're going to call you and try to abuse you every now and then, even on your lines, on your phones, on WhatsApp and all of that. That's how far they take it. If they cannot get through to you, like for instance, for me, the first thing that I did was drop the phone. I don't answer my fucking phone from any people of in my family, except for my uncle because of I live in his house. I don't answer their WhatsApps. I don't feel like doing that. I don't give them any connection to me. This is what she's going to talk about as well, about setting your boundaries. When you start setting boundaries, watch the first person who's going to have a real issue with you and dig deeper there. That motherfucker might have been destiny swapping with you some way. I don't care if it's your mother or your father or your sister or your whoever or your friend or that person that you would die for. I don't care if it's that person. Just dig deeper. Play the game. Don't overreact. Just continue playing the game and watch. Trust me, you're gonna come back and say, you know what destiny did say. Because a true person, true love really does let you go. True love will let you go spread your wings. Your mother will be like, yeah, my son, you know what? It's time for you to get married and move forward. You need to get a wife. But the kind of love who says to you, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, so you're gonna leave me alone. So what am I supposed to do? Yeah, my husband left me a long time ago. Like playing this guilt kind of trips on people. These mothers would do that shit to their sons, even their daughters, by the way. So for me, destiny swapping is it's an idea that the devil and his crew have, and the spiritual kind of a thing that they have a name for it. But when you truly really do the math behind it, you'll see how these people are actually kind of like this. Their low vibrational state that makes them think that they can do something like destiny swap with somebody else is exactly the thing that makes them lose the game when it comes to destiny swapping. Because all you have to do is just be open and wise. Wake up from what is happening around you when it's very, very, very tough for you. You're going to see it. Or when they cannot take anything from you, when they've taken as much as they can from you and you cannot get up, watch what happens to those people. They let you be. And you'll be the one of the luckiest ones if they do that and you don't die, right? Because these people are bloodsuckers. They will suck you dry until you're dead, and some of them will even follow that energy when you're dead as well. That is, they will tie your energy, yourself, you and your energy into something in the physical in order for you to get stuck in purgatory for some way, for some reason, so that they can continue to use your energy here on earth. That's what they do. So let's just listen to more of what she's saying.
Here, for one, some of the processes behind how binding magic actually works, how it actually works in the spiritual realm. And these are the processes that baneful practitioners who do the magic are highly aware of, but often targets of the magic usually don't know these spiritual processes. And two, I want to share how the signs and effects of binding magic typically appear to someone, me, with the ability to perceive and decode the presence of baneful magic in the aura. So, what does binding magic look like to someone who has spiritual sight or psychic abilities? So, starting number one with the processes behind binding magic. So, firstly, understand that on the most basic level, the purpose of binding magic is to limit a person's power and growth. This is why binding magic is so crucial to destiny swapping. If a person is not growing and they're stagnant, that means that there is no movement being made towards their destiny, and that destiny is now unclaimed goods. And as I've said plenty of times before on this channel, the only way a destiny can be properly seized by another person is if the person whose destiny it actually is not using the destiny, or they're not tapped into the destiny. Now, this is where
I just had a thought now. So imagine what she just said on a global scale. When everyone is not essentially living their true destiny, their true path, their true purpose. Hence, I said, this world is a bloody fucking big destiny swapping machine. All they have to do is misdirect your attention to your purpose. That is what you came here for, right? Spiritually, not physically, not what you do in the physical. Spiritually, what did you come here for? That would translate automatically to your physical. If you can understand what your spirit came here for, right, it will be easy for you to translate or to see whether or not you're in your path or you're out of your path. So you could be doing something that is more or less in your path. However, you're not aware spiritually that that is your path. You're just going on and they keep coming in and blocking you here and there. It's a little bit difficult because your guidance is there, but sometimes you hear it, sometimes you don't hear it because of they have this all these distractions that they're gonna throw at you, right? But you just so happen to be one of such people who is very focused and who possibly is somehow having some sort of something that is you're using that still keeps you somewhere in your path, right? However, because of you're not aware, like me, I wasn't aware. I don't know these things, right? I didn't know these things. And when I woke up to them, I didn't have names for them. I'm hearing in the head call them what they call them, the destiny swap. It all came to me when I was waking up. I had no idea what may. Now she's talking about baneful magics, and this lady actually was sent to me before talking about beauty magic. Yeah, because I was told that there's some sort of a beauty spell or something like that. And I was like, what? Did they want to make me beautiful? Oh, only to find out that it's actually the opposite. So this what she's saying, that you not walking on your path, you not walking towards your destiny. You're living that destiny for the taking, basically, right? But like I'm saying, that taking is only limited to the type of beings who are going to try to take that destiny. That is, watch how someone who copies someone cannot really like copy and paste it properly. It's like someone who goes and tries to you buy a dress and you look good in it because of you went there, you knew what it's your style and you fits your body right and whatever. And then this person decides that they're gonna buy it, your friend, they're gonna buy the same dress, right? They go there and buy it because of you bought it, not buy it because of it looks good on them. And even if let's say you have the same body size, the same whatever build and whatever, the fact is you wear the dress, not the other way around. You have the energy for it, not her. She might not have that energy for it. So when she's wearing it, it looks a little bit funny on her. But when you're wearing it, it looks like, you know what, this dress suits you well. Because of why? You went there with yourself, with your, we were talking about authentic self. You went with authenticity of yourself and said, this dress will look good on me. It looks good on my skin color. It looks good on, these colors are just good for my, I just love it as well. Because of that also, the way you feel by just looking at the dress translates when you're wearing that dress. That's the vibration that you're carrying when you're wearing that dress, right? And she comes with her fucking low vibration of jealousy and fucking copycat and tries to wear the same shit. Guess what's going to happen? This is where some guys who are very honest and sometimes I find that I don't know, but I find that guys actually hate it when another girl wears the same dress as some other person. And one guy would be rude enough to say, it looks good, more better on her than on you. That's what you would do, because some people, and it's not just guys, but most guys, I've seen a lot of guys be like annoyed with such shit. And I've also seen women as well who'll be like, you shouldn't have bought that dress for yourself. It's not the same on you. And now, you who bought this dress that you loved and you wanted to, you can't wear it anymore because of you hang around this little copycat, this one, right? You hang around this person and now you don't know when you're going to wear it, and then they're going to be like, I'm wearing it too. So you stop wearing it, and guess what? She stops wearing it, and you love that dress and you see it every day in your wardrobe and you're like, oh my goodness, but so and so, I could wear this dress for this, and so would come and wear it, you know? And yeah, it's something similar like that. But what I'm trying to say now is, still, even if somebody tries to steal that destiny, you have a key. Everybody has a fucking unique identifier as well. That portal that they are stealing your energy from, that path is only open for you, your unique identifier. It's only open for you, to be honest. What they're getting is by obviously stealing. This is why the universe says you are not allowed to live on anyone else's energy. That is, if your energy is in that path, that portal is so and so's energy, and someone else, and it's signatured in that essence, that is, that signature on that energy is yours to get, yours to use, yours to keep. And somebody else comes and steals a little bit of it, not all of it. They just come and steal some of it, right? What's going to happen is when they say they're stealing energy from you, they're essentially saying they're wasting your time, kind of a thing. It's basically what they did. They just wasted your time, right? However, motherfuckers don't understand that your path has taken into consideration shit like destiny swappings and stuff. God knew. God saw it. God saw you see it and be aware of it and wake up from it and walk your path. He already saw that. He knew that the devil was going to do the shit that he's done, right? And the devil is trying to think that he can be smart. But what he doesn't understand is that Father can go as far as possible to see where he's going, what he's doing, right? And Father, one of the things that I realized with him is that he doesn't like to waste energy. So I feel like he didn't want to like run around and chasing the devil, in a sense of he wanted to give him chance that I'm going to give you a chance to return what's mine. And if you don't do this, I'm going to come in and take and find what's mine. And when I do, so this is what's happening with the devil. These motherfuckers are just small, whatever. The devil's issue now is that he's been given so much of time. Father was trying to redeem him, to help him come through, come back and say, you know what? I've tried as much as I can and I cannot seem to get over this. I cannot seem to be successful with my mission of trying to take shit from you. I know I did this and I'm sorry and I want to work on myself. Father was giving him that chance. He didn't take it for many whatevers, right? Lifetimes or whatever. The problem now is if Father uses his energy, that is, if the universe uses its energy to resolve this issue, right? What is happening now is that the energy now has to be reversed, right? That is, that karma has to come back, all of it, to him. And he has to return all the energy that he stole from Father, from my brothers, from myself, and from the rest of the world, who he fragmented all this time and also stole, kind of like stole them. It's like a kidnapping kind of a thing that he did, and went and hid them somewhere and fragmented them and wasted their time, because Earth is delayed as a result. Meaning, this is why some worlds which were involved in this setup with Uncle Allman are going to pay Earth, are going to have to return the energy to Earth. Their worlds owe Earth a debt. They're going to lose some of the things that their worlds are good for, or the magic that they had in their worlds is going to go, they're going to lose that. They're going to lose all that energy because of when the universe comes and returns the energy back to Earth for being violated in that way and stolen and hidden somewhere and being used the way it has been used. Because remember, you're a spirit. The Earth is a spirit. Everything has a spirit. Everything, including a metal steel. The sand has a spirit. Everything is spirit. Everything is God. So when somebody does that kind of a thing to you, yes, they're wasting your time. Yes, they're making life difficult for you. However, the universe, God, uses that to better you, uses that to make you stronger, uses that to make you aware, uses that to make you wake up, uses that to make sure that you learn, you get wiser, and that is power. That is knowledge. When you have that knowledge, you have the power. Therefore, your program grows bigger. So it's not a total loss. It's important though now, I guess, because of it's happening on a global scale, for us to understand it, to know it. Before, it used to be things that have been spoken of, I think, in the background somewhere by people like her who know about these things. I don't know. But at least now the world has been out there and talking about things on social medias, and people are getting braver talking about these things, right? It's a good thing. But also, there's something that she's going to say which I had an issue with, and I'll address that when I come to that part. But I understand exactly what she's saying, and it's important things that she's talking about in terms of destiny swapping. Let's hear more.
Things get more interesting and a bit more layered. The method that an entity and the practitioner working for that entity, because practitioners work for entities, not the other way around. I don't care what they want to tell you. So, the practitioner working for that entity, what they use to bind, delay, or stagnate a person is going to depend entirely on things like that person's ancestral and personal fears, that person's ancestral and personal insecurities, their personal and ancestral traumas, and the person's daily lifestyle habit and choices.
So for me, I see them as egos. I just call them egos. Any ego that you're gonna have, it could be an ego. For me is a represent is how you present yourself. Are you presenting yourself in fear? That's an ego. Are you presenting yourself in anxiety? That's an ego. It's like an ego is a fake being of yourself. It could be, you could be boastful and very egotistical. Yeah, that's what it means, right? That you're presenting yourself higher than what you really are. But there's also egos of fear, egos of hate, egos of all the low vibrational behaviors are essentially egos. It's like all insecurities as well. Like she's calling them insecurities. It's insecurities. They are egos. Drop those insecurities. But you see, the thing is, you're going to have to drop that, right? But the best way to even do that is when you do that and walking in your path. Because that's where the healing is. The healing is for you to walk your path so that God and your spirit guides can show you how to drop your egos, can show you how to drop your insecurities, as she calls them, right? And in that essence, when you do that, you not only working on your path, but you're learning through your path. You're not going and trying to drop egos or insecurities willy-nilly by some sort of a method that tomorrow when you come back, you haven't really done much. That ego is back, right? That ego is back. My neighbor is being sent to make noise, obviously. But anyway, let's ignore them. So this is why you wonder why people go back and forth saying, I need cleansing again. I need you to cleanse my aura again. Because what they do for you, these people as well, which is what she's gonna talk about, is just a band-aid. The trick, that's just a band-aid. The real deal is for you to go through the spiritual process where you don't put a band-aid on it. What you do is you practice. Just like you're practicing your spiritual, not spiritual, but your body, when you're building your muscles, it's the same thing with your spirit and your spiritual muscle. You need to exercise that spiritual muscle in order for you to break that ego, to break it, not to do some sort of a physical thing that will help you to kind of like feel better because of, oh yeah, you feel better physically. However, that thing, what created it in the first place, is still there. This is what the universe father worked with me. She said, we're going to get rid of these people around you who are creating all these things. We're going to get rid of these egos. We're going to get rid of these situations. We're going to get rid of all these things. And then how do you feel right now? Oh, yeah, I feel so lighter, right? And how did he get me to work on that? He said, you're going to have to accept that these things are just things, right? Your material assets and all of that, they're using them so that they can trap you in this environment and make you feel like, oh, I gotta hold on to my cars, I gotta hold on to my house and whatnot. This is why they keep fragmenting you. This is why they keep using those things to make you fear of losing, right? Lack. The moment I said, fuck it, they can take everything, I don't need anything. The moment I said that, I started feeling lighter. And I had to keep that practice and say, because they will use it again. They will keep using it. The devil keeps repeating. And he's helping you in a way because his repeats helps practice your muscle of lack or your muscle of feeling like you need to hold on to things and people or possessions. He keeps throwing that shit at you. You keep practicing not to feel anything for it. That's how you get out of the situation. You don't get out of the situation by practicing some physical shit, which is what she's going to talk about. And that's the shit that I don't like. That's the shit I do not agree with. Because what they do is they will cleanse you, they will give you some sort of recipe for your body, go bath in the salts and light these candles. She's got something already that is some incense stick as well. I don't have a problem with incense sticks. I don't have a problem with candles. I don't have a problem with anyone doing those things physically. However, those things are not going to help you. That shit as well that she's trying to say is deviating you from your destiny. It's deviating you from your path. Anyone who tells you anything about you trying some physical thing or some reading some book or doing some steps and all of that is lying to you. And what they're doing, like her, she's going to be fragmenting you. I don't know if she knows it or not. That is a form of fragmentation because she is essentially coming in as a third party before God. She's becoming your ego as well. She wants to become your ego. They want to become your ego. Follow me, call me, contact me, and then I will help you. No, don't go to these people. Don't go to even Destiny herself, myself as well. If I ever told you to do things where I say to you, come to me, I don't even know how to help you. I don't want to lie. I wouldn't know how to help you. I can only share my experience and my meditation in this way, but I wouldn't know exactly how to help you. I'll be lying. I don't know how to help you. I can tell you what I came here for. I can tell you what I'm supposed to be telling you. This recording, this video, it came through and I was like, it's many times that she's been sent through and I never really did a reaction to her. And then I was like, let me just do one or two reactions today because they're piling up. Anyway, I did this one, so I'm trying to do this one, and I'm like, maybe this one will be quick. It's only an 11 minutes, 16 seconds video, and I'm like, I think I can be quick with this one. But you know me, I'm gonna be here 2-3 hours down the line talking about reacting to a 11-minute video for some reason. But I mean, if inspiration and source and father and the spirit guides have more to say, I cannot stop that, right? But yeah, let's listen.
Emphasis on lifestyle habit and choices, okay? So essentially, in binding magic, the entities and practitioners use the person's own weaknesses, their own shadows, their own fears against them. So if a person carries fear and insecurity,
I just wanted to say something. Be mindful. Those things that she just mentioned, your own fears, your own things, and whatever, right? They are those, but they can also create them for you. They created a lot, especially when you're a high vibrational being and you don't necessarily, like I said, you don't necessarily present in that way. You don't have any much insecurities because you're a big energy. You're vibrating high. You won't keep such things. What they would do though is they would create them for you. That is, you don't know how these people can go as far as paying a person to say go date that person and date her for a couple of weeks, and when you still see that she's falling for you or she likes you, break up with her or start mistreating her and then break up with her, and then we will pick it up from there. That's what they did to me. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, many other times. That's what they did. And you would develop what kind of a insecurity? I said, I must be very bad when it comes to love. And I gave up on it. I honestly did. But it's not to say that I am that bad at love. It's just because of they made sure why did they do that? Why did they do that? Why would they want me not to ever be in a loving state? Because they know that once I link up with my counterparts or my what you call them, whatever, the soulmates and whatever, I become even more powerful. They don't want to see that coming. They don't want to see that happen. So what they would do is try to make you stay clear of meeting the person that you're supposed to be meeting, which I had an opportunity to meet one of them, and we just couldn't wake up to it, myself and him, right? We didn't see it until it was late. And for him as well, I think he saw it when it was late. But anyway, so they made sure that relationship never comes, because they knew if we were together, they wouldn't be able to do what they did to us when we are separate. Same thing, divide and conquer still works in this essence. So what they would do is they would divide you as well from your path. They would divide you as well from God Himself and conquer you in that essence. That's what they have been doing. All these things that they are doing here, all these things that they are running, it's all a divide and conquer kind of mentality that this world has. They can divide and conquer you from the people that you're supposed to be with, but the main one is to divide and conquer you from God Himself. And this is why they will send you all kinds of things. Sometimes they present truthfully. They give you some truth, but the rest of it is a lie. Or they give you some lie wrapped up in truth. You need to be mindful of that. And this is why you can never trust anybody sending you this way and that way, or helping you this way or that way, or showing you this way or that way. This is why I say the best source of your own help is to follow your path. Try to remember who you are. And the only way you can do that is if you pray. If you pray directly to God and use God for your spiritual whatever. Do not try to use anybody else. Yeah, I guess you will listen to my recordings if you ever got to a chance to listen to my recordings. Well, it is what it is. It was designed that way, by the way. You will be one of the, I don't know if okay, I'm not going to say what they're going to do, but you would be I would say you would be one of the lucky ones to bump into this kind of conversations. But when you do, you must know that that's a calling for you, right? It's part of my design. It's part of my path's design. It's part of my mission. It's part of God's mission. I'm just doing what they say I must do. I'm just following my path as they said that I should, and I'm doing as best as I can. What the universe does with it, it's his problem. Well, not his problem. Sorry, Father, but it's his plan. I won't know. I don't really know what goes on. I'm just guided. I live a guided life. I'm guided by him. Follow this, do this. And I refuse sometimes. I was like, no ways, I cannot do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But I eventually do it. You know, he knows I'm going to do it. He knows I'm going to whine about it, but I'll still do it. I am like that. I don't know why. I'm just that lazy. I'm tired. I keep telling him I'm tired. You can hear it in my voice. But anyway, let's listen again.
Around being seen, negative entities are going to amplify that and play on that person's fear of visibility to keep the person in hiding. If there is a history of vices or overindulgence, negative entities will play on that to keep a person in addiction loops. If illness runs in the family, negative entities will oppress the body and the mind so that the person reproduces those same illnesses in their own life, very often through their own choices, right? And then, if there is a history towards narcissistic or abusive relationships in the family, entities will bring narcissistic and abusive partners into a person's life like
Yeah,
clockwork.
this
Every
is what
time
they
that
did to
person is
me.
about to
I
level
didn't
up,
hear that
every
she
time
said
that
this.
person
This
is
is
about to
exactly what they did
change or
to me.
grow, in comes someone who is spiritually dangerous to that person. So you see the pattern, right? Binding magic is designed to keep a person stuck within the same old cycles, to keep them on a low vibrational spiritual level, to keep that person in cycles and loops that a person's destiny actually requires them to break before they can tap into the positivity of that destiny. Now, while this may seem on the surface like a bad thing, technically, this is kind of a good thing. Because if the person actually faces and conquers their own shadows and the skeletons in their own closets, technically, there will be no more fuel for the magic to work because the person has unbind themselves from the very energies working against them, meaning they are no longer victim to those fears, to those insecurities, to those addictions, to those negative patterns. So the binding magic has no more fuel to even operate on. Now, when it comes to how binding magic and spiritual oppression actually shows up in the aura, I want to share 2 to 3 primary ways that I see this occurring. I see this, for one, primarily through a veiling and cloaking process, where entities essentially cast their shadows directly in front of the person. And so that entity essentially stands in between that person and the world. So, if an entity,
You know what she's talking about? Don't think that entity means something that you do not see. And these people sometimes, this is why I say I don't really like the way communication is being done from a spiritual kind of a person like her, because they speak spiritually like that when some of us don't talk this language, or scientific people will talk in their scientific way, and not many of us are scientific, so we won't understand what they're saying. And then there's the religious group as well, who comes in and says all these things that they say, and you never allowed to question them, and they expect us to just understand it. And then what else? What other group is there? There's many groups that are coming up as well now. So what I wanted to say about what she just said now, an entity, right? It's not just an entity in J, or just. It's your fucking brother, your fucking sister, your fucking mother. When she says they come before you, that's the destiny swapping. You don't realize sometimes that what your brother does, right? Somehow you like doing what he does, and you started up doing it, and then he takes it over from you. Let's just take an example of a DJ. Maybe you love music and you bought a turntable and what. You were actually doing some sort of a, practicing these type of things and whatnot. And maybe your brother follows you to some of your gigs every once in a while, and the next thing you know, for some reason, you can't go there anymore. He has your turntables, you know. You don't even know how you gave them to him. As in, like, he borrowed them one time and then he never returned them. Something like that. The next thing you know, he's like doing this live. He's a DJ now, right? And you look at it and you're like, you're happy for the person, right? At least they will manage to live there. But then what are you doing? Oh no, you're stuck being a fucking breadwinner at home. Why did they get you stuck being a breadwinner? He's living that destiny of yours, that DJ, musician, music industry kind of a way. You all of a sudden ask yourself, it's like, this was always my dream. But I think my brother's best at it. No. It's that insecurities that she's saying that they're gonna be playing on them. It's those type of, they create them for you to make you think that you were perhaps not that good, or you would never get as good as he does. You don't realize that he just fucking destiny swapped with your music capability. You might have other gifts, not just music. But then when you start looking at other things, it's like, what are you focusing on? Everything that you're focusing on, you're not happy with it. You just making it by by making sure that everybody makes by. Why? You're a provider. You're you're a breadwinner. But you never get to do something for yourself, something that you really, really like. That's the destiny that they're stealing from you. So when he says entities, don't think it's something that is coming in the, it's not visual, right? You can't see it, or you can't even identify what that entity is. It is your the people around you. It's not some fairy, some invisible being somewhere. No, that being, even if it's there, it's not even a being. It's like it's a spirit. But where is it? It's right in your bloody fucking sister, your mother, your whoever's in the house. That's what she means. So when they talk sometimes, yes, I get it that they talk that way, like thinking that we all understand it. But for me, what I found out, I came here after a spirit, a specific spirit. I saw it in the imposter goddess sister when she came to ask my mother to become the light. That's the spirit. That is the demon that I came after. When I came here, Father said, I want to show you something. And I said, what is it? It's like, look, he's showing me my aunt, my great aunt, the young one, the one who fucked me over as well. And I see a scene between her, her brother, and my great grandmother. The two, my brother and great grandmother, had a very close relationship. And she had jealousy over that relationship. So whenever they used to play together. My great grandmother and my great uncle used to play together. They are old, these people. I'm not talking about young people. I'm talking about old people. My great grandmother used to pretend like she's chasing my uncle, my great uncle. And he would be laughing, and then she would come back and sit down and laugh. Like she's a great old woman trying to chase another old man. And they're just playing like kids. This great aunt of mine, she was younger, she's the youngest, used to be jealous. And as soon as she sees that, Father says, look at her face. Try to see past the face. Use your power. And I look at her face. I see her scrunching her face. But then Father tells me to use my power. And I use my power and I see the mask behind her. It's the very same demon. The very same demon that I came after from earth, from heaven, right, is the one. Father says, this demon seems to be everywhere in the system. I'm also investigating it in some other areas in the system. So I just wanted you to see this. Isn't like we got our work cut out for us. So the entity is not some person who lives underwater somewhere. No. The demon is riding the people in your life. And it's not to say that those people themselves are innocent to it. No, they are not. They signed up with these things. They know what they are. They know who they are. They sign up, some of them, with these demons. Oh, you want this, you want that. You're going to have to do this. So I'll give you this in order for you to help me out with that person. Is that a deal? Oh, it's a deal. And that's what they do. This is why they know how to sneak themselves around you. This is why they know how to, like slide in there without you realizing, what the fuck? Where are my 10 tables? What the fuck? Where is my apron? What the fuck? Where are my dresses? Where's some would do clothes as well, right? You think the clothing idea is a my sister used to want to always make sure that she dresses. Whenever I buy something, sometimes she wants to buy the same thing. Same thing, same thing. I didn't realize that it was also a destiny swapping thing. The energy of you wearing that thing, right? She presents herself as me as well. I remembered while I was waking up, after waking up actually, how my brother's girlfriend got upset with my sister because of, she was like, you know what happened? We went to a party. This is my brother's girlfriend's party. She was birthday. I think she was turning 21. She's younger than me. She's younger than both of us. All of us actually. Anyway, we go there, and guess what happens? Everybody keeps hugging her as if like they're hugging me. Hey, it's nice to see you. And then they push her back and they're like, oh, I thought you were your sister. Sorry. About 3 people did that in the party. The last person to do that was my brother's girlfriend. She did that. She's like, why are you dressed like your sister? No, you're dressed like, and she's wearing everything, almost everything that is mine, by the way. Why are you dressed like your sister? I thought it was your sister. Why do you look like her? She swapped. I didn't realize it. I didn't know what it was. But she couldn't manage to swap that day because of her energy again. You see, when I say a low fucking vibrational being is always going to be a low fucking vibration. Okay, not always, but it's going to show. It's going to fucking show. Like they would hug her but not feel that energy that comes from me. And then they would push her a little bit. It's like, wait, I thought it was your sister. And I was like, oh my goodness. I didn't realize. I actually felt sorry for her, to be honest. Because everybody was pushing her away, except for this specific one who said, no, you don't dress like your sister. Yeah. I was like, wow. She was like, no, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. You have your own thing, your own style, and you do that. But I never realized that. We used to have a lot of things which are the same. Only to realize later that, and she does that. She would help herself to everything. She even says it like, yeah, I'm going to go shopping in your wardrobe. Shit like that. My earrings, she took like a bag, right? This bag I have, it's like my special type of earrings. So when we were cleaning at some stage, when she came to do the spring cleaning where she was going to do some her bullshit, taking things out, and then when we're starting to put things back in, that bag falls, and I open it, and I was like, I don't remember what I put in here. I know I put jewelry, but and then when I open it, it's like, wow. She's like, wow. Let me see. And I was like, right. And then I'm tying it, and can you believe that bag is gone? She still took it. She still took it. That's what they do as well. You don't realize that some of the things that you gave up and were picked up by your friend, your sister, your brother, somehow, someone who's close by, or your colleague, you don't realize that that is actually some form of destiny swapping. Oh, at work, you probably were somehow someone who used to be able to present in a way, right? And all of a sudden, there's this one person who comes. They stay for a while, and soon then the next thing is like they're friends with you. They try to be friends with you, but you had this feeling about them. And then the next thing you know, they're the ones who have been picked for these projects and all of that. And you don't mind it, right? Because you're not a low vibrational being. You don't see it for what it is, right? You leave it. And then when you see it, you see when you want to prove that it is bullshit. It's a fucking destiny swapping kind of a thing. As soon as they get stuck in a project, they come to where? To you. That's exactly what they do, these people. This is why I'm saying this is a big machine. This is a big swapping, destiny swapping machine. So when she says entities and what, like, for me, there were no demons with horns and shit like that in front of me, or that I could see if I had the psychic what, right? Maybe I don't know what psychic abilities she's talking about. Maybe she's able to probably also take off masks like that. I don't know what she's talking about, but for me, I'm going to tell you in a way I experienced it, and is that it's not an entity. For instance, myself as well, when I was waking up or when I was going through my awakening, I used to call them entities as well. So maybe that's a name that comes up naturally. But what I'm trying to say is that don't hear it as in like, okay, not don't listen to it, but when you hear her say something like entities, it doesn't mean that it's like some weird things that you cannot see. It's actually people that you can see. If you can see demons, maybe she can, because she says she can see. I don't know what she can see. But if you can see through someone else, like for instance, my sister, when I look at her, oh, not even just her, in my whole family, I can see when the demon is in. I can see which one he's riding. Why? Because of he has a face, a certain type of a face that I can pick up from the persons. They all look the same. Whenever they have this demon, they start looking the same. I know they are family members that they're supposed to be looking similar, but no, it's not the case. For me, my sister is the face that I see on everyone, because the first time when I saw this demon, it was on her face, right? And whenever my uncle sometimes tries to, it's like it's through her eyes. I can see it through her eyes. I remember one time I actually challenged her. She was starting off to do some weird things, and I said to her, I know who you are. I can see you. You think I don't see you? She looks at me. She's like, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I can see what's riding you behind you. I'm talking to you. You. Then she starts, like um, moving her eyes quickly, like shutting her eyes quickly. And I was like, look at this one. And I could see it. I could see it. Whenever they start talking to this entity or these entities, they kind of like go offline a little bit. And like someone is like thinking, or they're talking to someone. And I used to laugh. I used to be like, wait for it. I want to see what gimmick she's gonna play now. And then she would come up soon after doing that. She would come and say, hey, you know what? This, and this, and this, and that. The last time she used that shit, that she, after talking to the demon that is riding him, they get up, she and her son. I don't know what they were doing. They start doing some weird things in the kitchen, and they break this dish of mine, this bowl that I love so much. And they break it, right? And then they look at each other, and then they look at me. They're waiting for me to overreact. And I just look at it. I was like, oh, it's broken. Oh, okay. And I went back to typing. I was on my laptop. Guess what? They don't see me, but I'm looking at them, looking at each other with like, she didn't overreact. They don't say anything, but I can see that they're talking with their eyes. And I'm like, bloody demons. You think you're so smart. Seriously. It's funny. It gets to be funny. For me, it was funny. It's funny when you see them doing that. They do that. It's not some being, some weird looking. No, it is weird looking. However, they are living. These demons are riding the physical programs of your family members, the people that you know around you. So it's not just even the destiny swapping in a sense of your brother and your sister and whatnot. It is them because they signed up for doing that kind of work, right? Somewhere, somehow. You see it with all of a sudden people buying things, all of a sudden people having this type of this person is not doing anything special, but all of a sudden they're buying new cars, I'm not saying you should be jealous or it's jealous about other people's progress and stuff. I never used to even think anything of it. But then when I went through my awakening, I realized that all these people were buying, like at the time when shit was happening around me and them, it was when they buy cars, they buy houses for me. I don't know about others. And I said to the fathers, like, oh, so what you're telling me is I should follow the money. Where the money goes is where where the devil is. And when I looked, it was a lot of people. It was a lot of people. I ended up saying, oh shit, this is bullshit. Anyway, they would do something like that. So entities is not necessarily like something that you're not necessarily going to visually see. It is a visual thing. It is that person that is around you. And you know what? Somebody asked me, who are they? Because sometimes I didn't realize that when I'm talking, I'm saying they. Probably I'm saying they. I understand what I'm saying, right? So maybe people don't understand what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is they are usually the people who have access to you. It makes no sense that somebody who doesn't have access to you will destiny swap with you. Why? Destiny swap works very well with you being in the vicinity, you being able to be accessible. So it's going to be someone who's going to be close, someone who sleeps right next to you or sleeps in the next bedroom, or someone who can come up and see you every day, or someone who can call you. You're like, who's going to call you every day and know what is it that you're up to. It's people who have access to you. It's not people that you don't have access to you. It's people who have access. The closest ones are the ones who are going to do this. Lauryn Hill has this song. What did she say? There is a song by Lauryn Hill, man. They speak all the right words to gain their position. They'll use your kindness as their ammunition to shoot you down in the name of ambition. They do something like that. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Nope, they do. I always said that. Whenever I sang that song, it's like, don't, no. You can forgive them, but they do know what they're doing. And somewhere she says, men who lack conscience would live in lie to themselves. Something like that. But there is a saying, I don't remember what that verse says, where they say, it's those who are closest to you that will do that to you. Lauryn Hill and them, they saw this shit, and we call them crazy. They got arrested, and they always do this to people who say the truth. They will try. That's the recipe. If you start talking up against them, they start trying to take you to the mental institution. And I know, I saw it. They did it to me as well. So because of they think that you are afraid of going to the mental. I was like, take me there then. I was just pissed that my rights were being violated like that. Father's like, don't bother with them. Leave them. Let them do what they want to do. Don't worry, it's gonna work out for you eventually. And all those bloody cops and the bloody fucking ambulance drivers, and I get the feelings of all of them. Some of them were kind of like my father's agents. I get the feeling. But all of those people are gonna get hurt. They're going to pay for it. The universe is going to reverse that energy that they stole. They were smart. They thought they were smart. They were working for the devil, right? And they came up at me like that energy. Now these fuckers are losing their energy. What you gonna do, motherfucker? Because what they did is essentially thinking that they played this game thinking that they're on the right team. Now their team is losing. What are you going to do? Because they're small people. Not small people, but they're small, in a group setting, and people are doing like this smaller yana ones who are just coming in just to make noise. Yeah, they were those type of people. They don't understand what games they were playing. They didn't understand what the game was. They got paid for doing something. They didn't realize how big this shit is, how far it goes. And now they're gonna be paying karma, the same amount of karma as people who started this shit many years ago. Because it's a shared karma. They come as a group, they will share it as, and not share it as in like they're gonna have a piece of this. No. No. If it's 100 people and it's 100 karma, everybody carries 100. That's what's gonna happen. And they come in that energy, getting involved in shit that they shouldn't be getting involved in. I watch these people every time. It's like, yo, do these people have any idea when this shit hits the fan? It's gonna be so sad and funny. It's gonna be funny. I'm gonna laugh. I said to that, I'm going to laugh. Please don't. And it's like, no, it doesn't even work like that. Anyway, let's listen to the
Dark
lady.
spirit is standing in between a person and the world. Every time that that person looks out at life, every time that that person looks at their life path, all they may see is doom and gloom because their perception is distorted by the presence of a dark spirit. So, people who have been veiled or cloaked by dark entities usually feel pretty victimized by life. They feel bitterness about life. They may struggle to find positive things about their life, even if there's actually a lot to be grateful for. They just cannot see the points of gratitude. So, in this cloaking process, dark entities constantly pull the person into cycles of sadness and depression, and therefore keep them from having the momentum and the energy needed to be, for one, fired up about life, and for two, to actually follow their destinies and their goals. So, another way that binding magic and spiritual oppression in the aura shows up is when entities weave their energy around the entirety of a person's aura, right? And they squeeze. So, similar to how a python wraps itself around its prey and constricts the breath of their prey, certain dark entities actually function in similar ways. They wrap themselves around the energy body of a person and then they squeeze and they squeeze and they restrict the flow of energy that is directly around the person. And
Okay, this specific thing, I heard it. I heard about it. I don't think I experienced it. Or perhaps I did, or and then I. So part of apparently my some of the things that they did, right? I don't know if it was true or not. So, but I did hear something like this, that they were sending something like this towards me. However, they didn't realize something, like whatever they sent out has a cannot come for me. It's like they opened something and to let it loose to come to me. But then that thing, when it found out what it is, like who I am, it was like, uh, I don't do this kind of energy. This is a high vibrational energy. Perhaps that's what it said. I don't do this kind of energy. So anyway, you let me out. So I need I need to feed. So where am I gonna feed? Because that is not good enough for me. That is not something. It's like a dark entity eating dark entities, right? And when it comes and it's like, that's just too bright. That's not what I eat. So where's my meal? And well, I don't see anything else dark enough here except for you. And I think it went for the person who released it. That should make me laugh. And I was like, I can see that happening. I can see that happening. They open something or some sort of this kind of an entity towards me, and apparently that entity was like coming fast, and then when it saw me, it was like, hit the brakes and it's like, wait, you mean her? It's like, yeah, her. It's like, that's not what I consume. It's like, you you took me out of there for nothing. I'm out, so I might just as well feed. And what am I gonna feed on? Well, there's just you and her. So you look dark enough. You look delicious enough. And it went to him. If that is the case, because I never saw that. I don't have evidence of it. I'm just saying this is where I heard about it, and I laughed. I was like, because I pictured it, not pictured it, but I had a vision in a way about it. And I don't remember further. I think I remember something about a box being opened in some dark realm somewhere, right? I don't remember. Am I supposed to go through that now? Maybe this is a trigger for me. Sheesh. But I do remember a vision of some box, right? A big box, not a small box, of something being released. They were releasing all kinds of shit towards me, these people. Weird stuff, things that they're not to be played with. And they thought that those things would come and eat me up. But when the things comes, it's like, you're not serious, right? You do know who that is, right? And did you take me out of the box so I can come and consume her? Here's the thing, I can't consume that. So since when I'm out, I might just as well feed on you because there's no one else here that I see with that kind of darkness that I consume. And yeah, something like that. But I think there might be some sort of kind of dark energies like that which constrict your power. I'm trying to think about it in terms of programming though. What kind of a program would do something like that? Obviously there are demon programs, right? But what kind of a demon, why would you need, this is why I say to the Father also designs and creates demon programs. They are made for that reason. And this is why some energies are going to come out as demons. However, they know who we are. They know who I am. They know that, dude, I'm created for other things, not for this type of things, right? I consume other things, but not this. And this is the people, this is why people need to understand when we're saying programming, that you're a program. That some programs are designed as much as some programs are designed as angels and gods and human beings and what beings and what not beings, even demons are created for a reason. Sometimes you need a job of a demon project to do. I mean, a project can need a demon program, you know, and they open those programs themselves. They activated those programs themselves without understanding what those programs do. They are demonic. They may be demon programs, not demonic, but demon programs. And you might be that their job is to eat any negative or low vibrational or kind of dark energy in the system. And that's what they do. It's like they are sucking and cleaning up, dark energies. And you take that shit out, you open it up, you start that program, and you're thinking, oh yeah, it's gonna wreak havoc. And it's like, I know I'm supposed to consume anything and everything, but that is not what anything and everything means. But you look all right. That was so funny. It's like, that's the thing. It's like, you have to understand the darkness as well, and your dark self as well. Your dark side of things. It's by design, and sometimes you came here to even identify that, whether you want to be a light program or a dark program, or whether you are really a light program, or whether you actually are a little bit dark. Isn't like how you do things, and you should accept that by yourself, about yourself. It's not a bad thing to be a dark program. Maybe he eats light, I don't know, and then he came to me and he saw my dark side and was like, I'm dark, but that one is worse. And I'm not consuming any more of my or I was confusing to him because I have both dark and light, right? And it was like, I'm only eating dark sides, dark people, or I only eat light programs. And this one is something else. And I'm not even going to try that because I don't want to have a stomach ache after this. But you look tasty. You look all right. That was funny for me. When I heard it, like, what? It's like, yeah. They went and opened Pandora's box and they got Pandora'd. This thing is for us. Anyway.
When the entity has been doing this for some time, the person will feel the restriction physically on the body. They may feel very heavy around the abdomen, the shoulders, stiffness in the hips, and etc., because these areas are hot spots for entity attachments. May
Okay.
experience a shortness of breath, or like it is hard to breathe. They may feel extreme stiffness in the body. They may feel an urge to withdraw into themselves a lot. They may find themselves becoming more introverted, hiding in the house or hiding within themselves a lot more. So now, of course, because I am never going to talk about spiritual issues and not also discuss remedies and solutions, let's talk solutions. Now, for personalized remedies and solutions, please book a one-on-one reading, because during that session, we'll tap in with your guides to formulate the best healing path and plan for you personally.
So that tapping with your guides, your spirit guides, your spirit team. Guys, please go speak to your own spirit team. Don't let other people speak to your own. You know you can. You know why? You are the same program as them. You don't need another program trying to talk to your spirit team for you. You cannot be time. I was giving an example. You cannot be a time program, right? You're a time program, and getting some sort of a file o program to go and talk to your time program. Why are you doing that? You have direct access to those beings. You have direct access to your ancestors, your spirit guides. You have direct access. You just need to be open to them. She's open to them. You need to do the same thing. She's open to the system. You need to be the same thing. So if you're going to go via her, every time you want to talk to your spirit team, you're going to go via her. Every time you need some answers, like now to midnight, you're going to do it, call her. I mean, come on. It doesn't make sense. All I know is that everybody who has a gift, it's for you. It's not for other people. This is what's called interfering. Interfering with other programs. This is not allowed in the universal law. Because when you interfere, you essentially become an ego for that person. They're gonna use you. They're gonna have to use you every day, right? And this is not how you're going to align to Source and God Himself. You're now going to align to her. You're gonna align to another individual who is psychic or some kind of a person. Psychicness is not, to me, is not special. I am going to say that, because if you think about it, psychicness is an ability to be able to align with the universe, that is the system. As your psychicness is your program, being able to intuitively connect with the system, in a sense of you're able to receive and send messages. That's what these guys are doing. Now you tell me, what kind of a program are you where you cannot receive and send instructions from the universe? Where are you installed? The connection is already there. It's established. You just need to align and allow yourself to open and receive your messages and be able to send whatever messages you're there. And where does that start? With your own prayer. And let God tell you, these are your group. This is your spirit guide. Your ancestors are here. So and so is here. So and so is trying to talk to you. This is the group that you use. As align with the universe, align with God. Let Him tell you, this is the group that I've assigned for you on your mission. This is the group that you're going to talk to. This is the group that are going to help you. And oh, by the way, I'm also there. Right? You don't need to be talking to, you don't need somebody else to talk for you. You have that connection. Everybody's psychic. Everybody's spiritual gifts. When they say, oh no, we got spiritual gifts, unless you are not a spirit, you're just a, I don't know, what's the opposite of a spirit? Your Casper, the ghost, maybe. You're just a ghost. Because that's also a spirit. Like they call that spirit here, right? Maybe you're Casper. Maybe you don't have connection to the universe like that. If gremlins have connection to the universe, you also have connection to the universe. You don't need somebody else talking to your people for you. I mean, seriously, some of them they died recently, that your ancestors. Talk to them. They probably be coming through your dreams, and you probably see their photos every now and then. They fall off this book here, this album there. You keep seeing them. You keep thinking about them. They keep popping in your mind. Hello, you don't need to be psychic as well. And the degree of psychicness is going to be different for different programs. I'm not, I don't know if I'm psychic. Well, am I psychic? What do they cause? What is psychicness anyway? I don't think anybody's special in that way, including myself. So, my program and my mission are just my program and my mission. They are special in their own way. However, we all have connection to the universe. We might not necessarily be aligned, that is, we have connection, but we're not really listening. You're not really listening. You're not paying attention to who you are. You're not paying attention to the people who are trying to talk to you, to God Himself trying to talk to you. You're not talking to God. Instead of talking to God, that hour or whatever session that you're going to waste with some individual trying to talk to your ancestors or whatever, is the hour that you could be trying that exercise of connecting that to your ancestors yourself and getting intuitive, learning to get intuitive. And it's not to say that you're going to get the messages the same way. Like I'm saying, it's different. You could get it through birds, you could get it through flowers, you could get it through the wind, you could get it through headaches, who knows? You could get it through dreaming, you can get it through visions, like just having things passing to your mind, people passing into your mind, or a thought popping into your mind. You could have it like that. But how are you going to know what your program is if you're busy using the time and space that you're supposed to be working on yourself? And you're taking that hour to talk to somebody else, to tell them, to tell your people. What kind of a program are you using other? I don't understand it. It's like, I don't know what it would be like. It's like if I wanted to talk to God or Father or the system or the universe, and then I say I want to go through storage, right? However, I am installed under storage. So basically, I'm just trying to think about it, how it works, how it would work. Perhaps we all talk through storage to the operating system. Oh shit, yeah, we could. But I don't need to talk to him. All I need to do is run on my, because storage has a sacred timeline track as well within himself. Within himself, he's got a sacred timeline track, a spiritual track on earth. He's on the physical, he's physical one. Okay, because you're a program, right? If you think about it, you're installed under program files as program whatever. Program files is one of the folders within the system, right? However, the system has many different things, many different programs. But when you're talking to, I think storage is a bad example. Perhaps let me say, it's like if I wanted to talk to Father or God or the universe, I go via antivirus. You see what I'm saying? It's like, hello? Why? Why should I do that? When Father has established communication links for all of us, you don't need to talk to someone else. If you're guided towards that person, right, to talk to that person and you're guided towards that person, you know what that means, right? If you're guided to talk to that person, is that you heard something from your universe, you heard something from your spirit guides, and you followed through. But is that thing that you heard your spirit guides, or is it some sort of a entity that you have no business listening to, helping you to or making you move towards a direction that you don't necessarily need to be moving towards? I mean, think about it. If you go and or unless you listen to her and then you go and do that, I guess you will be listening to her. This is why I'm saying spirituality is a personal thing. Stop your egos, drop all the egos, including other people, including religions, including all kinds of beliefs. Pack your beliefs behind and talk to the man who designed you, who programmed you, who knows exactly what's going on with you, and who can tell you, you're that step where their destiny is swapping with you. Okay, this is actually what you came here for. This is where you came here to try to work through that. Like me, who knows? So let's do this. Are you ready? Are you ready to work on yourself? Yeah, I'm ready. Then you do that. But now, how are you going to do that through someone? You can't. She's busy doing her job. She's doing her work in however way she's doing it, right? And to be honest, I don't think she is really necessarily aligning to source, that is God Himself. She just knows she's psychic. I bet she doesn't understand why that is. Why is she psychic? What kind of program is she? That and what is the psychic ability in her program? And you're busy trying to follow her. Destiny swapping people is a program level. They're trying to destiny swap with your program, these people. They're not trying to destiny swap with your physical self. They're trying to destiny swap with your spirit. This is why they do it on the spirit level. So why are you going to be physical about it? They're trying to destiny swap your spiritual, your spirit. And it's not possible. They can call it whatever they want to call it. But essentially, this shit is only possible if you are not aware. You are still in a state of. There is a thing called spiritual awareness, I think. Maybe you are spiritually unaware. Oh my goodness, I'm shaking this bed. I might have been making noise now. It's kind of cold here. So, no. I, 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 I don't get that. And that's what's been happening. And that's why, I mean, all kinds of people are going to come up, right? People have been coming up for centuries or even millennia with all kinds of solutions for you. And do you know anybody who can tell you that this shit works for them? I would ask that. It's like all these things that people have been trying. Which one has worked so far? Nobody can tell you. And if they do work, it's a temporary fix. And then you have to go back again and again and again. Aye.
Personally. But for now, let's talk general remedies that will be good for anybody. So, for one, you must confront your shadows. Period. Unresolved and unhealed traumas and insecurities are very often the number one thing that attracts dark energies and karmic experiences to us in the first place. So we must do the shadow work. So shadow work has a lot to do with the psyche and the mind. However, we must also be doing the somatic body.
All right. The shadow work and dealing with your what, right? What is it? Your insecurities or something like that. I agree with her. I wanted to say something and I forgot it. They stole my thought with that brr sound out. That's what they do to me whenever they want to disrupt me. I was gonna say something key and they made that noise. Now that thought ran with that noise. And they do that. That's how they steal your energy as well. That's how they steal my thoughts, my downloads. So what was I gonna say about that part? Where she's saying, need to work on your shadow. Oh, the shadow work. I was gonna talk about the shadow work. You need to work with your shadows. Um, I'm going to be honest here. I don't think I would have been able to manage doing that if I wasn't aligned to Source, if I wasn't aligned to God or my spirit team. I really don't see how anyone is going to be able to do that. And the idea that you're going to try to do that work on yourself alone is crazy. I think it's just doesn't work. So, however, I would say this: you trying to work on those things alone, that's where you're going to meet God. That's where you're going to meet your spirit team. Because essentially, when you try to do something like that, where you're starting to work on those shadows, you're going to start hearing them. You're going to start hearing their guidance to say, yeah, go, move forward, do this, go there, think about it, work on it. It's painful, but think about it. If you do that job, right, you must understand that that's how or when you're going to start opening yourself up to actually hearing your messages from your spirit team. I actually wanted to say that the reason why you're not able to hear God is because of these shadows that she's talking about, which I call low vibrational behaviors, tendencies, thinking, whatever. That's why you're not going to hear God. It's not that He's not talking to you. It's not that your spirit guides are not trying to get your attention. They are always, forever, will always try to help you. They are always waiting and trying to get even a moment where you drop an ego and they talk and you hear it. And they're like, yeah, she's hearing it. Yes, he's doing it. Yes, he's following the guide, right? And the more you learn to drop all these egos, drop, and you don't necessarily have to drop one at a time or one of it's just how it works for you. It works for you in that way. But it's that opening where you start surrendering. When you surrender and you're like, you know what, God, I'm here. I am not shiny as I should be. I know I got my egos. I think I'm having all these kind of things. I think I'm better. I think all these things. You know better. You know me better. Show me the rest and show me how to get over those things. That part of you trying to work on yourself, you must always expect that there will be sometimes, actually not sometimes, that will be the opportune moment where where God, where your spirit guides are going to say, hello, can you hear us now? They're always there. They're always there. And don't let anybody make you think that this is a soul, a mission that you're going to take on your own. It's not. It's not a mission that you can take on your own. It's something that one will bring, and nobody must tell you that they're going to help you to work on your shadows, to drop your egos and whatnot. They can't. That person who says that, if somebody says that shit to you, just expect them, just think of how egotistical can they be to think that they can play the role of God and the role of your ancestors. How egotistical of that person. Who the heck do they think they are, thinking that they can step up in front of your ancestors, or they can step up in the front of God and do what God does, and do what your ancestors and the other people that you signed up with, the God. Listen to me. It's like sometimes, there are people that you signed up contacts with who are masters, who are gods in that, right? And these people are there to help you behind the scenes in the spiritual world. Yet you're not tapping into it, right? To know who they are. I don't know what contracts you signed with who, what you came here for. Sometimes you're going to need a lot of energy, a lot of beatings and whatnot. Sometimes you're not going to need a lot. But whatever that is for you, right? You can't listen to someone telling you that an important thing as a spiritual work, they can step up for you like that. Like, okay, come to me and I'll help you in that way. I'm good at that. I can do this for you. It's like, who you? Who you? Do you even know yourself? Do they know what program they are? The blind leading the fucking blind. Yeah, they know something. They know this the physical shit of this environment. But do they know? Oh shit! I was going to fragment this person. I did do this before. I was always going to do this. I was always going to say something like that. And I once I said that I don't see her, but there's some other vision of her coming through. I see why Father has been sending me her videos all this time. But anyway, we'll see what she is. It will come up. I don't have it now, but maybe something will trigger it as I keep listening. Anybody's gonna tell you that they're gonna help you. It's like if I told you I'm gonna help you work on those shadows. I can tell you how I did it, but I can also tell you that's how I did it, right? And how I did it is I went straight to the source. I went straight to God and I said, God, help me out here. And he assigned me who he needed to assign me. He said to me, remember these people. Remember they said they're going to help you. Remember you signed contracts with them. They're all here. So what is it that you want to work on next? Okay, let's work on this. Let's work on that. I worked on the same way I'm working on topic by topic by topic. I worked on love. I worked on forgiveness. I worked on protection. I worked on, small things, not small things, but every other topic out there. I worked on each and every one of them. That is the egos that I had were directed, the lessons that I had were directed towards the egos or the, what she calls them is what? Shadows or whatever you want to call it, however you want to call them. Each lesson was aimed at dealing with a specific thing that I had that I needed to learn about and why I have it and how did I develop it in the first place? What caused me to get to that point? And once you start understanding how your development towards attaining such an ego or such a shadow or whatever it is, that oh yeah, I remember somebody did this to me and did that and then here I am. It's a demon now. It's within me. I need to get rid of it. And as you learn, you understand those demons, those shadows, those egos, you start getting control of them. So, yeah.
Really work to release these negative and heavy emotions and experiences and traumas directly from the body and the emotional field. Okay, so my favorite practice for releasing stuck, dense, and dark energy from the body is going to be Tai Chi and Reiki. Also, getting things like acupuncture and deep tissue massages will also move that stagnant energy right on out of the body. There are plenty of free Tai Chi videos on YouTube. Get into them or find your local in person class.
All right, this is also what I say to always say. I never had to do that shit. Even though sometimes it's encouraged to do that, it's not a bad thing to do, right? But you must also really understand that what you're doing is not working on your spirit. Like she said, it's a physical body thing. But healing starts from spirit. Let me tell you what's going to happen with you when you do this body stuff. You're going to feel better for that 1 hour. That is if you even manage to get to do that exercise, that Tai Chi. That is even if you even get inspired to do it. That is even if you get inspired to get on that bike. Because your spirit is the one that's going to give you that kind of inspiration. It's like, get on a bike, do some yoga, do some Tai Chi, do all these things, right? When your spirit is well, your body is going to be well as well. But when you have something blocking your spirit itself, it will manifest or show up in your body in that way. This is why the energy is blocked there. So releasing the energy is one part of it. Yes, you can do that physically and do whatever exercise you can, if you would even do it, because these people will tell you these things, but I promise you, not many people can do this. Maybe I can't. Okay, let me not talk about other people. But I get the feeling that a lot of people, this is why people can't keep up with exercises. This is why people can't keep up with diets. This is why people can't keep up with the weight off. Because of why? Because if that's a physical issue. However, that physical issue started somewhere from your spiritual issue. If you don't fix that spiritual issue that you have, that shadow that is identifying as a backache, that shadow that is identifying as a neck ache, that shadow that is identifying as whatever it is, your constipation and all of that, if you don't deal with those things from a spirit level, right, that is from your program level, to say these things are not supposed to be in you, all this low vibration, no program is designed with low vibrational kind of energy to run with any kind of that. No program like that, right? Unless you're a demon a program who's supposed to consume that kind of negative energy and I guess leave it as just energy, dark energy, then yeah. But like the other entity that I was talking about that they released, unless you're that kind of a demon program, but if you're not, right, you're gonna fix that physical. I tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna fix it. You're gonna go to Tai Chi, whatever. You're gonna be good after that Tai Chi, whatever. By the time you wake up tomorrow, you're gonna be sore, and you're gonna try that every other day. And yes, perhaps you could feel a little bit better, right? But then there's gonna be a moment when you can't do it because of what? Life just happens, and you're gonna be feeling shitty immediately. Why? Because of you have been using a crutch instead of dealing with the real problem. When your spiritual is fixed, things like I want to exercise, I want to do this will just come naturally. It won't be done because of you want to unblock some sort of energy. And to be honest, for me, I find that shit doesn't work. Yeah, you loosen the muscles there and there. I do some stretching and whatnot, and I loosen the muscle down there and there. But I promise you, the next day, and this is with stretching, yoga stretches and stuff, I feel worse. And perhaps I do have a blockage somewhere. But for me, I also feel like it's also because of I've always had this targeted kind of energy sent towards me. I'm actually surprised. Let me not say anything, because if I say something, I'm gonna just jinx it and they're gonna start their bullshit. But yeah, so the physical stuff, as long as you understand that you're gonna do it and you're gonna have to keep doing it. And it's not a bad thing per se. It's just that you must know that don't expect that problem, the spiritual problem, to go away. So this is what I keep saying. People lead from a physical perspective. They lead their lives from a physical perspective, and you're not, when instead of leading their life from the spiritual perspective. You are a spiritual being with a physical presence, with a physical body, living in a physical world, right? You're not a physical being with spirituality, with spirit. No. You are a spirit first, and then the others come after. So you need to fix the spirit before you attend to the rest. When you fix your spirit, it fixes your mental, your emotional, your physical. All those things are going to go away without you needing to get on any treadmill or some Tai Chi or whatever. Those pain points are going to start falling off themselves. Do I have those things? Not anymore, except for one that I get only after walking. It's for my leg, my foot, because I had a injury, an old injury before even existing here. But I also kept getting phantom injuries. I mean, not and phantom injuries as well on the same side when I was on the physical. I always get hurt on that side. So I fell first time, and I got a couple of accidents, like in 1 year, three accidents, two, three, three accidents in 1 year. And every time I blocked with my right side. So that is more like a physical injury thing. And it's aggravated by emotional stuff as well. Whenever I have some sort of that kind of blockage that she's talking about, yeah, I would get them that issue. But also, I find that if I walk or exercise, I have to do over an hour so that I don't get the pain on my leg, right? But if I do less than an hour, like 20 minutes walk or something like that, it it it's almost like the muscle doesn't get warm enough. And I also did something one time. I walked in a mall with these tiles with a flat sandal, very flat, thin sandals, and I got so much of cold into the leg that it took me a couple of days to warm the leg, my leg, the right leg that is actually having issues. But that is for me. Other than that, because it's all my right side, from my head up until my foot. That's where I got hurt. So sometimes the pain is localized around my foot, my leg. Sometimes depend. Obviously, it's because of depending on whatever my emotional issue that I'm dealing with, that I'm not, or I have and I'm not dealing with. It's gonna show up like that. However, as soon as I deal with that, I'm fine. So it's a just note that your physical stuff are just that. They just give you release on the physical, but your spirit hasn't even been touched. You can never touch your spirit with that spiritual practice kind of things. It won't even, like, no, you haven't done nothing to your spirit. And this is why you're going to wake up with the same pain every day, because you didn't get rid of it from the source, which is your spirit level. You got rid of the symptom, not the cause.
In your area, right? Remedy number two, you must reclaim your power in word and in action. So, not only are you calling your power back on a daily basis, you're also standing in it on a daily basis. You're applying all the energy and power that you have to the goals and transformations that you want to manifest. When I say standing in your power, I mean you've got strong energetic boundaries in the physical and in the spiritual realms. You're walking in your God given authority. You're using your voice to say your declarations and your prayers on a daily basis to command your reality. You don't let your fears or the negative projections of others limit your movement on the path of your destiny.
That I agree with her. All of that she just said right now, I agree with her.
All of that good stuff. Thirdly, in general, since binding magic is all about creating stagnancy, it is important to keep your body moving. Move your body and keep a fresh and dynamic daily routine. Don't
I agree with her. If you don't move, these people, like, they don't move themselves. If you watch these comics, if you watch these people that you would most probably identify as the entities which are trying to destiny swap with you, they hardly move much. That is, they're lazy. They're not getting ahead in any way. They don't do anything. You always have to feed them. You always have to bring them shit. You always have to make them food. You always have to buy them food. You always have to care for them. You have to always provide for them. And what do they do in reverse? Nothing. Nothing. So for you, that movement, also working, like she's saying, working towards your goals, is actually helping you start working towards your spirituality, because you're going to see if these goals of yours that you have or not, that you have, is whether they are right for you or not. When you see that you are really being led, you're getting them, you're getting close to your 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 goals, to reaching your goals. Like, I have to be honest, I've been sitting here, not sitting, but I'm just saying, I've been here where I am now for the past, it's over 6 months now. And I've been complaining because my father said it's going to be about 6 months. Obviously, he said about 6 months. I could be here 6 years, who knows? But anyway, I still remember the goals. It's like I would complain and whine about it, and like I'd be upset about it and throw a tantrum about it. It's like, I've been waiting for so long, nothing is coming, what's happening and what. And then I will remember or have a vision or maybe a mind, something being sent to my mind to say, remember this, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then when I start looking at it, it's like, oh, I am actually at this point. Oh, I'm actually at that point. Like, I am moving as much as I'm not moving in the way that I would have wanted to move in. Isn't like I would just do it this way, this way, this way. But, oh shit, something else has come. Spirit is basically saying that, or is actually working in a way of saying, there are things that needs to come into place first before you can move in. It's almost like a chessboard, right? Before you can move certain types of, I don't know, I haven't played chess in a while, but before you can move before you can move in a certain way, you need to do certain things. Some people's, your strategy is going to speak to how you're going to play that chess, right? Same thing. It's like sometimes for me, in order for me to be able to move, right, Father has to move certain pieces on the board before me. That is that the king or the queen that they protect? Something like that. They would do, you would play that way in that strategy. You're always protecting some king and queens and stuff, right? Same thing. So sometimes for me to move to my next point, even though I feel like, oh, taking a long time, because I feel like I've been there doing the same thing over and over again, and I know that I'm seeing progress, but it's so slow, right? But 1 minute you like looking at it, it's like, oh, it's not never happening. When is this gonna happen? The next thing you know, it's a year. You're done with the year and a lot has happened and you've went through something and you actually didn't even realize that you went past one thing that you were looking forward to getting passed over. And the next thing you know, it's 6 years down the line and you're done. But I must say, with this mission, no, Father, this is not what I was expecting when it comes to time. You know how I feel about this timing. Call it whatever you want, divine timing or what not. This is not what you said to me. You said 6 months. I know what you said. You said about 6 months. So about 6 months could have been 5 months or 6 months. And it better not be over 7 months, please. I cannot take this shit anymore. And this is when he's going to make it like that. He's gonna be like, you're gonna stay there until 9 months. That's him, I know. I shouldn't have said that. I'm gonna get it. Father, please don't let me get it. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm done. I have such hope for so many things, right? That I'm working on. I'm preparing myself for. And if I don't get to do something like that again, it's like so many things have passed me because of this destiny swapping shit. They essentially know how to divert me from my path, and they don't do that to me anymore because of I'm awakened. So what they do is they do it to the people who are supposed to come towards me, and they would hold them back, and if they're not strong enough, they don't come through. And I get that. Father says that the people who are going to have to be with you are supposed to be able to get through the the system and the devil system by themselves in order for them to earn a position next to you, because it will never work out if it's someone who cannot work on himself to the point where he can stand on his own, be it I'm there or not. Because this is exactly what's happening right now. It's like I'm supposed to have moved, but I can't move because of the person I'm supposed to be moving with is caught up somewhere. And I know that because of I had visions about it. That he's gonna get delayed. He's gonna one of them was bored even. I was like watching this person's like he sold me out essentially. He agreed not to do the job and took the money, and hence I'm stuck here. Right. And the next one, who's supposed to be picking up that baton as well, is having his own personal issues. And I get that. But I'm like, Father, how long am I gonna wait for this mediocre kings and queens and kings and knights and emperors? Ay, 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 ay. I'm disappointed. I don't want to lie. I'm so disappointed. And I feel like Father knew that I was going to get disappointed with these type of people. I should have just done this mission on my own. I should have just done this mission. It would have been easy, man. I think it would have been easier. But I also know that Father wanted to take this opportunity to wake a lot of them up, some of these big energies up, right? At least wake them up, right? So that they can ask, even though they don't join me on my path, but they at least awakened, and they start working on their own missions. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, some kings and queens and empress they are. Please. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed. Anyway, let's finish this one.
Let things be on like the same old different day type energy. No, do things you've never done before. Challenge your mind, challenge your body. Stay physically and mentally agile. Lastly, as always, stay on top of your spiritual routines. Pray, meditate, cleanse, and practice the magic that has been gifted to you as your birthright. Do not be scared to practice your own magic. If you would like to join the deeper conversations around spirituality, binding magic, graveyard magic, glamour magic, so on and so forth, please consider joining the Patreon, where there is like 2 years worth of lectures on all of these topics. And if you would like a one-on-one reading to better understand your unique spiritual situation, please tap the Patreon link or the Etsy link that'll be in the pinned comment of this video. Peace and bliss. Ashe.
That last part is the one where I'm like, wasting time with a third party. I would much rather go directly to source. She won't tell you anything about your spirit. She's gonna tell you about all these entities and whatnot. Oh, you've got this uncle who's bewitching you, this aunt who's doing this one is destiny swapping with you. Yeah. I hear you. But the same shit can be told to you by your spirit guides, your spirit team, by God Himself. You can go and learn that yourself. Right? You don't need somebody else telling you. And the second thing to that is that hour, that time you spend looking at these people, what they do, you're basically wasting your time watching someone walking in their path instead of you walking in your own path. All these things that they're doing, it's not necessarily for you per se. It's more like, yeah, you're gonna hear about, oh, there's this. Look, I had all kinds of things happening to me, right? Had isn't like what it's called, but I saw what happened to me, and that is much more valuable than putting a name on it. So I might not know what it's called because I'm not going to be following this witchy shit. I don't have time for that. I got bigger things to do with my life than to know this is beauty magic. This is what magic. This is what magic. Okay, fine. If Father feels like it's something that I shouldn't know, and I said to Father, do I really need to know these things? Because I said to Father, I don't want to bring a lot of my children here because of these things. Father says some of these things won't be there by the time you have children. And or it would be better. The situation will be better. Right? And I'm like, what's the point of learning about these things? I know what I do, what I feel like. I know I'm itching. What it's called, I don't know what kind of witchcraft that is. I know that they would, I heard people saying throat chakra. I used to cough a lot, like get choked a lot. I didn't realize that they were attacking my throat chakra in that way. Headaches, maybe not too much. My crown chakra, they try it, but it's not that easy for them. But they do try it. They tried it, Shem. And I trained that muscle. I trained my crown bloody chakra not to be done like that, because that's my best, the best part about me, my mind, how it works. I've always said if there's one thing that Father gave me is a brilliant mind. I'm not saying I'm smart, I'm the smartest or what. No, I'm just happy with the way it works. If I just love how my brain works, my mind works. I just love that. That I it allows me so much of freedom to go any which way. Even though sometimes I just don't have time for for putting useless information in my head. I'm very mindful since I was a child. I don't like, these people who keep numbers in their heads, like the ID numbers of the family members, all the family members, and what. I often ask myself, but now I'm going to ask myself a different question. I used to ask myself, why is that important for you? Why is it like, I mean, what's the point? And cell phone numbers change as well, right? I can understand ID numbers for the very close families, but at the same time, it's like, what do you need that shit for? What are you going to do with somebody else's ID number? Because most probably when they ask that ID number, at some stage they're going to say they want a copy, right? So, meaning you can get it from a copy. Why do you have to store it in your brain, in your mind? I mean, I like saying brain. I don't know why. But things like that is like, so this person, um, they all do this, right? It's not just on her. I'm not trying to take any business away from anybody. I'm not trying to break someone else's business, but I can tell you one thing. It's a form of fragmentation, what she's doing. Getting involved in your business, in your spiritual path, it's fragmentation, it's interfering with the universe, and she's going to have to pay a penalty for that. She's going to have to return everything that she's done where your spirit guides or spirit team was supposed to be doing is going to be reversed, that energy that she stole. The time that you're going to spend with her listening to her way of doing things which don't necessarily work for you, and they won't. That's what they're going to do. They're going to tell you cleanse this, switch on this, light this candle, get something purple and whatnot. Whatever it is that they tell you, they're going to tell you all kinds of things that are going to waste your time, that are going to be a form of fragmentation, that are no better. They are no better than that destiny swapper who's trying to deviate you from walking in your path. Because of what they're doing is also deviating you from your path. You go straight to God. It will take you time. You'll try to connect and try and try and try. Just keep going. Even if it takes you a year, just keep working on it. Just keep working on it. You'll see it will happen. I'm getting that it's not gonna take long. I'm getting that if the individual is open, when individuals are open, it shouldn't take long. Like if you're open to, if you surrender to listening, to hearing, to taking messages, learning to take messages. That's the first step for you to familiarize yourself with your spirit team's voice or your inner voice. so to speak. So it shouldn't take long. I don't know how long, because when I said a year, they said it shouldn't take that long. As long as the individual is open. I guess is gonna be like, yeah, but then you are using your spirit team to talk. Hey, my spirit team is Father, the God, the Creator. Okay, there's no spirit team other than that, right? There's no other spirit team that's got authority other than that. So sit down. You're lucky to even get that chance. Somebody's gonna be like, yeah, you're telling people not to use other people's spirit teams and spirit guides and whatnot. And I'm mindful of such things, right? And I'm like, yeah, I am, but I'm not saying you should use mine. I never said you shouldn't use mine. Actually, I'm very what do you call it? Father knows I'm very possessive about him and my spirit team. I am. I said that. You can call it an ego or what. I might have to work on it at some stage, but I don't care. That's mine. He's mine. I'm his. I'm his, I mean. And that's that. That's my father. Okay? So you go find your own one. It's probably going to be there for all of you guys, I think. Most of you guys. Okay? Not always, though. Okay. Like for me, I must say as well, for me, it's like they're there, but they're not. Omnipresence is like they're there. They're there. They're just there, you know. But when you connect with them like that, they know when to answer for you. Then, like for instance, I don't have to ask them questions. Sometimes they give me the answer before even asking the questions, or sometimes they give me more more detail to what I'm saying. So I'm getting that you're gonna have father as well and mother. Most of you are going to have like your ancestors as well. Like it's kind of similar setup, but not a big groups, not big groups. My mission is different in a sense of I'm doing many other things for other. It's not just one it's a mission, right? But it's got many facets on it because of the kind of program I am. So whatever program you are, you would have whatever how many faces that you have. It will also dictate how many or how much assistance you need and what contracts you signed. So it's like, let's say you just needed your spirit, your ancestors for guidance only. That's what it will be mostly, unless you need extra or someone else. Then, or when the time comes for you to get others, you will. So yeah. So somebody else will be like, yeah, she says this one thing, but she's also saying that. She's also doing it. I'm not telling you to follow me, okay? And I'm not telling you to follow me on what. And Father, please don't let me do these things like that. My job is to send out the message out there and leave it at that and start walking my path. I don't know if Father wants me to do anything more. I get the feeling he wants me to do some other things, but I'll see what that looks like. So, but it's your choice again. So, you want to follow. Look, sometimes you will see it for yourself. You will maybe use a person like her and then see where that gets you, right? But you must, all I'm saying is that you must always know that you have that kind of access yourself. And it's best to just go direct with your own self. Don't be fearful. These things are not as serious. Well, they are serious, but they're not as big deal as people have made it to be. It's like, I'm psychic and I have this and I have that. Ugh, come on. You might find yourself being even far much more powerful psychic. And you're going to block yourself because you're busy listening to people on YouTube telling you that they're psychic. What does that even mean? I don't know. All I know, I don't know. This is why I'm like, things are being called names, right? They have names. I don't follow through with those names. I say them for myself. I define them for myself because I've found that a lot of concepts and a lot of definitions for certain things are not necessarily all inclusive, you know. And sometimes when you explain your experience, it might be very different from most psychic people. However, you could also be called psychic, right? I don't even know what the word psychic means. I should actually check it out. You know, we use these words, but we never really find out what they mean. I guess when you're a psychic, you would know, right? You would go. But if you're not seeing yourself or um, viewing yourself in that way, that you could be a psychic as well, you wouldn't be like so interested in them. I find that on YouTube there's this pull between psychic people and tarot people. Father, how come I never saw some sort of a, funny thing is the tarot people, there's a tarot program in heaven, in the spirit world. I don't know if there's anything for psychic. and psychic people like to put tarot people down. But in the spirit world, I have a tarot machine as well, one dedicated to me, and others have as well. Some other people who were supposed to be reading tarot. Not everybody was supposed to be reading tarot, right? And tarot machine there's a bigger one as well. There's dedicated ones for certain individuals, and there's bigger ones for various individuals. So that part in the spiritual world, I saw. What psychic means, I don't know. Is that something that you want me to? Ooh, maybe that's what Father wants me to come and defragment. Because we did do tarot. We did do tarot readers. We defragmented tarot readers. Maybe Father wants me to defragment psychic reading. What it means. I'll make a note of it, Father. And it's funny, hey? Whenever I hear them, it's like, why do you have to put each other's gifts down like that? The spirituality competition is kind of boring. The spiritual people's competition. I got gifts. I get so bored whenever somebody says, I get spiritual gifts. It's like, duh, we all do. We all do. Don't let anybody tell you you don't have spiritual gifts. You might not be in tune with them. You might not be aligned with them yet, but you're gonna get to that. Who knows? Maybe your spiritual gift is starting fire with your hands. Who knows? You don't do psychic and what. You just start fire, or you can control the wind. And there you are feeling all some type of way just because of some people are able to. I don't know what psychicness is about or what tarot. Okay, tarot I understand in terms of the card system, which is there. There is actually a machine in the spiritual world that does that card system for you. So don't even the tarot readers as well. Don't get too. Nobody must intimidate you in some way for the fact that you're not talking to spirit yet. in that way, or you're not connected or not connected, aligned with your spirituality in that way. It's none of their business. It's your path. You take your time. And somebody telling you that they got spiritual gifts and shit like that, it's like, duh, motherfucker, we all have spiritual gifts. They might not look like psychic like that. They might be very much, I produce fire, or I breathe fire, or I whatever do. Or you could be a person who thinks a lot, who solves problems in your mind. You could be mathematical program. Who knows? You could be just dealing with numbers in a very interesting way. But somebody else would be like, oh no, he's just a genius. No, that's a bloody spiritual gift as well. Your genius is a spiritual gift. You're a program. You just need to find out what that mathematician program is. That's a spiritual gift as well. That's your power. People talk about spiritual gifts as if like it's only psychic readings and tarot readings and what else is there? I don't know. Whatever reading that they do. People, or they can, what do you call these ones? People who can channel, channel people who are dead, right, on the other side of the spiritual gifts. They think that that's just this, that's the only spiritual gifts. No, you might not necessarily do your spiritual, you could do your connection or alignment with source, the divine, by processing numbers in your head. you could you could you could wake up in the morning and your watch says 2020, and then you walk around and then your microwave says 0, and you take those numbers. Who knows, after the day you like, hey, God was telling me today that this and this and this and that. That could be how you align with the universe. You don't necessarily have to be psychic about it. Your program will tell you what your way or method of communication with, and God is going to contact you that way. God is going to talk to you that way. You could be one of those people who's interested in the numbers. You don't know why the number that comes on them. You're just having this number thing. But then they say slow down, and you slow down. You start looking at them. It's like, these numbers are actually words. What are they saying? They'll teach you. They'll show you. They'll teach you, and you'll be like, my uncle used to say numbers and this, and she used to have this thing of doing this and this and this and that. Then you go and find out about your uncle, and you realize that God had put certain things in your path for you to notice certain things about your uncle and what he does. And then you try that shit, and then you start seeing it, and you're like, oh shit, I also have the same thing. Don't let anybody tell you that spiritual gifts is just the gifts of psychic readings, tarot readings, channeling, and palm readings, or whatever readings that they're doing. It's not only those. There's a lot of other powers. You're different programs for a reason. We can't all be psychic readers, and we can't all be tarot readers. What are your powers? What are your spiritual gifts? That's what you need to find out. Now you're going to go around running around with psychic readers and what, when in fact yours is actually numbers, or yours is actually weather. Oh my goodness, this weather today, I think it's telling us that we have to be indoors today. I don't know. You'll find out. I'm just being silly. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it can be anything. You're a program, you're a spiritual being, you're a spiritual program, you got powers. Every spiritual being has powers, and the powers are essentially your functions. What is it that you do, and how does it translate into the physical world? That's essentially that. You could be a very good, you could be a time program, but then God talks to you with time. Every time you see 2020, 801 or something like that, it might mean something different to you, while the rest of us, are like, we just see numbers. We don't see anything. We don't see what you're saying. So did you see that? It said this before and then it said that before after. You could be that. How the heck are you gonna know if you all keep fucking using the same fucking toolbox from the same bloody fucking whatever? We all using the bloody same toolbox. I'm tired of using tarot readers and all these psychic people. Can we just use other gifts out there? There's a Father is very creative. He's a very creative being. It's time to ask for us to find out and explore other things out there. We're kind of tired of this. I'm bored with them, to be honest. I really am. And whenever now I guess I'm gonna be doing psychic readers. I'm getting a lot of these psychic people these days. So I'm gonna defragment the psychic reading kind of a thing. There are psychic readers who I find that they also do tarot. So but I don't know. I feel like they are the same people. They're not the same, man. But I'm just saying that they're in the same kind of categories, right? So it's time for us to see what else was out there. What else is out there? What other readers are there? Let's not limit creation like that and say, oh no, the spiritual gifts are only this. No. You could be communicating with your hands. You could be that kind of person who has to touch someone or something to receive the message. How are you going to know that? Huh? If you're busy hiding and you're thinking, hey, the only spiritual gifts that I know of is you have to be able to talk to the ancestors. Perhaps your ancestors are talking through to you through your hands. You're not listening. You're not listening. You're busy trying to be a psychic and a tarot reader, forcing the tarot reading thing. I'm getting frustrated with my tarot reading. I'm like, and I remember Hene, they showed me, they said to me, you're gonna have to do them every day, and then it's gonna pop in there. Like something's going to pop in my mind that I'm going to be like, okay. But every day these days I'm feeling like I'm getting closer to them. But I worked on them a long time. I was so frustrated with them. That's the vision I had. And now today I'm looking at them and I'm like, I don't know about these cards thing. I don't know if I want to do this. Every time I think about it, I was like, but Father said it's up to me if I want to pick it up. He said to me, it's up to me if I want to pick it up. So it's not something that I'm forced to do. But every time I feel guilty, I'm like, I remember seeing a machine with my name on it. Imagine Father going through all that much, and I'm not even trying. So let me try. Yeah. So your gifts, man, they are yours. Your spiritual gifts, you're gonna find them out. If you follow your own path, don't follow other people's path. Don't follow other people's paths. Don't try to connect via someone else. Don't try to connect via Destiny or via Sophia or via whoever. Just goes directly me. It's simple, it's easy. You just try it until it works for you. Open up. Like they're saying, it shouldn't take long. If you're open, if you allow yourself to hear the message, you don't have any requirement. You don't have to necessarily drop your egos, but it's gonna find it even easier as you drop those egos. They're not as bad as you think they are. They're not those egos, yeah. Some of them are gonna be tough on you. One or two, I guess. Maybe one. The rest of them are going to be easy for you to get rid of. You know why? Because they're not you. You develop them based on your environment. Most of these egos are developed based on the environment. But there is one that is going to probably be truly yours, one or two, which you probably came here to fix as well. So you're going to find that one out. And that's the one that's most probably going to give you a run for your money. But the rest of them, the more you drop, the less the more you can focus on the major ones for you. Yeah, they call it what? Shadow work. They call it the shadow work, doing your shadow work. Yeah, I guess. Or you could call it dropping your egos, learning to drop your egos and to keep them dropped. Because remember, whatever you're going to do and work on, it will every once in a while come back. And that's okay. That's okay. You work at it again. It means that spiritual muscle wasn't practiced much enough. So you keep doing it. This is what I'm saying. There's going to be one or two egos that are going to give you a hard time. And you're going to find that they're actually mostly you. It's not the ones that you developed or you picked up around your environment, but they were original to your program. They come as part of your program. And perhaps those are the egos that prevent you from receiving some sort of a upgrade for your program or being able to ascend on the spiritual timeline. And once you learn those things, it comes back, you keep going, you keep going. Eventually you'll find your breakthrough and ascend those egos or those shadows. All right, Spirit. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say regarding this communication or this video that we were listening to. I'm not getting anything. I think that's it. Thank you, Spirit.